Your Excellency, Prime Minister Mr. Edi Rama, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Albania, it's really a great pleasure and honor to meet with Your Excellency today, and of course, and with your esteemed delegation. In fact, this important visit reflects the excellent historical relation between our two countries over the past decades. We held important consultation today, reviewed all aspects of bilateral cooperation, and discussed regional and international issues of mutual interest. We had the honor to be received, of course, by His Excellency the President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, who, of course, also commended the excellent relationship between our two countries and our two nations, and being in the center of two very important regions, the Balkan region and the Middle East. Both countries are playing very important role to ensure the stability within our two regions. So we really discussed with His Excellency the potential area of cooperation in the coming period. Within our meeting together today with His Excellency the Prime Minister, we discussed ways to strengthen and enhance the relationship between our two countries and nation, and of course our discussion has focused on increasing cooperation in various fields, including tourism, energy, trade, and culture. We exchanged views on some regional and international issues. We also discussed the convening of the first session of the Joint Committee for Economic, Scientific and Technical Cooperation, which will be held in the Albanian capital Tirana next month. I am confident that this meeting will be a supportive framework for our relations and will foster the economic and investment cooperation. I also pointed out the importance of establishing a joint Egyptian-Albanian Business Council between the Egyptian Businessmen Association and the Albanian Federation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry. And I emphasized the need to encourage Egyptian and Albanian companies to participate in trade fairs held in both countries. At the end of our consultation, we have witnessed the signing of the 3 cooperation agreements, which cover various aspects of culture cooperation. Finally, I hope this visit will be a turning point towards strengthening relations between our two countries at all levels. Egypt looks forward to building on this momentum, strengthening our ties and enhancing bilateral cooperation. Once again, I would like to welcome you, Your Excellency Prime Minister Edi Rama, and I also wish you a very pleasant tour tomorrow, as you will see some of the remarkable achievements and landmarks of New Egypt. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Thank you, Prime Minister, and let me express in this occasion my gratitude for the very warm welcome, for the hospitality that is defining with a very strong sense of friendship this day, and for the highlight of the day, the meeting with the President, to whom I want to extend also publicly my heartfelt thank you. And allow me to say in this occasion that before Egypt becoming the consolidated state it is today, with a far-reaching influence throughout the region, and thanks also to the wisdom and the vision of your President and your government, no one should forget that over many decades, especially in the 19th century, it emerged as the Orient's American dream, with the countless opportunities that cotton planting offered intertwined with the brilliant vision of an extraordinary strategist, a general, by the way, Muhammad Ali. The very origin of the man who opened the doors of this place to modernity was a true mosaic in its own. Born into an Albanian family, part of the high echelons of the Ottoman Empire, follower of the genuine Islam that views immobility as something frowned upon by the Prophet, peace be upon him, and the interaction with progressive people and cultures as an obligation benefiting Muslims, General Muhammad Ali steered Egypt towards the awareness that with time the country would be able to take its fate into its hands and quite often would become the judge of fates of that mosaic of regions. It's, of course, an honor, and it's with pride that I take this honor to be here and to speak about this very root of our long friendship. And I do not want to talk about the paths and trails that Muhammad Ali blazed for the Egyptians with his determined actions. But I would say a few words about the rest, which, because of his figure being so imposing, sometimes or all the times has remained in a kind of shadow, surrounded by Albanian people, generals and commanders. Muhammad Ali did not limit himself to the Albanians, and he gave an entire avenue in Egypt to the Albanian workers and to Albanian entrepreneurs, not just Albanian fighters. And Egypt, your country, received a lot of Albanians emigrating from Shkodra, which is our northwest region, without forgetting Korça, our southeast region. And it did it with the same open mind. It received Italians, French, Greeks, Jews, etc. And I have to remember here that Albanians, either Muslims or Christians, they were students of Al-Azhar, and they were craftsmen and merchants, administrators, or doctors. And let me bring here a very interesting example of an Albanian who was a distinguished personality of the Albanian independence, Dr. Mihal Turtuli, a Christian, who was personal doctor of the Hadjival family. And he saved, after many struggles, the life of the Hadif Abbas Hilmi II after an attempted murder against him in Cairo in 1900. And there is no question that this man from Korça would have given his own life for this exemplary Hadith. And going further and further, there are so many small testimonies of these bonds. By the way, in 1899, Abbas Hilmi II, successor of Muhammad Ali as ruler of Egypt, helped another important Albanian personality, Murat Toptani, to face here with patience and dignity his interment. By doing so, he carried over the tradition started by his great-grandfather to lend a hand to all initiatives that helped Albanians. Of course, history matters, and I am, again, proud to say that Albanians gave their contribution to this country, but also took a lot from this country. And this makes us humbly grateful towards what this country did for them. And there are many writings, there are even poems that witness in nowadays from that past and passed from generation to generation this sense of love and of friendship and somehow of also belonging towards this country. So coming to nowadays, dear Prime Minister, it's upon us to try and build for better and try and strengthen our relation. And I want to be thankful for your openness, for your disponibility to go forward by putting together a joint committee, by identifying the areas of our cooperation where we need to push for more, because as you said, the numbers of trade are very, very modest, while the potential is there. And I take with me your promise to look personally to this step of settling a direct line, flight line from Cairo to Tirana and vice versa. I don't know for the Egyptian side, but for the Albanian side, I can guarantee you that the plane will never be empty, and this line will not be a burden for the company. On the contrary, it will help many, many Albanians that like to come, like to visit, like to have vacations here, to come in this land and to realize that once upon a time it was like the back door of our homeland, although the distance at that time was much, much more bigger. So without taking more of the time, I want to thank you again, and I want to conclude by the wish that what is maybe the most precious distinction of Egypt in the eyes of the world, your incredible culture, will be also a base for our cooperation in the cultural field. We are much smaller, but we are proud of our culture, and we believe that we have also what to show to your people. But of course, you have so many things to show to our people. So let's work together, and let's look at the future with the conviction that there was for a reason, that history has connected us so strongly, and let's make of this reason the belief that it's somehow the testament of our predecessors that between Albania and Egypt, Albanians and Egyptians, there must be a common path towards the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Your Excellency.